Drydock rests open to the night sky. Tower cranes stand frozen above the basin. Work lights remain fixed along the edges. Nothing here prepares to lift. The water has been drained away. Steel ribs of the hull are exposed. The air carries only stillness across the empty dock. A cargo ship stands supported by blocks. Its weight settles evenly on the floor. No chain tightens, no engine turns. The vessel feels suspended, held between journeys. Metal scaffolding frames one side of the hull. Platforms remain untouched. No tool rests out of place. Everything waits without waiting. Floodlights cast pale bands across steel. Painted numbers stay visible. Shadows fall straight and unmoving. Nothing flickers. Time begins to loosen within the dock. Minutes stop marking progress. The open basin replaces the clock. Nothing presses forward. Below the hull, the concrete floor stretches wide. Drain channels remain dry. No water gathers in them. The surface feels firm and complete. Along the rim, ladders descend into the basin. Their rungs stay cool. No footsteps echo down. The vertical paths remain unused. Cables hang along the crane arms above. Secured in place, no tension pulls through them. The machines feel dormant, balanced against the sky. A faint breeze crosses the dock. It does not move dust. It does not rattle metal. Then it disappears. Time spreads wider. Moments sit side by side. No sequence forms. The pause feels sufficient. The hull's steel plates show lines of weld. Each seam remains solid. No vibration travels through them. The structure feels anchored. Lights continue to glow around the basin. They do not dim. They do not brighten. Their presence feels neutral and steady. No signal announces a return to work. No horn sounds from the harbor. No crew approaches the gate. The boundary holds firm. Above, the cranes remain extended over empty air. Hooks hang motionless. Chains stay straight. Nothing lowers. Nothing lifts. The dock does not anticipate water returning. It does not prepare for launch. It simply remains, steady, contained. Air settles between hull and floor. Sound does not travel far. Even silence feels softened. The space feels insulated from change. Time loosens further still. Minutes lose their edges. Presence replaces progression. The night feels suspended inside steel. The ship remains supported by blocks. The cranes remain fixed against the sky. The basin remains dry, each element holding its place. No door opens at the yard entrance. No light turns toward the dock. Nothing signals movement. The scene feels complete as it is. The dry dock remains open beneath silent cranes. The hull remains resting in its frame. The night remains wide, Everything stays aligned, orderly, and undisturbed through the long hours before morning. The basin continues to hold its quiet shape. No chain shifts against metal. No cable tightens. The balance remains exact. The hall stands above the concrete floor. Steel plates reflect faint light. Weld lines remain straight. Nothing vibrates through them. Along the rim, floodlights stay steady. Their glow does not wander. Shadows rest where they fell. The edges feel measured and calm. The crane arms remain extended into the sky. Hooks hang in open air. No weight pulls them down. They hold their position without strain. Time loosens again inside the dock. Moments stop lining up. They rest side by side. No direction presses forward. Air drifts once across the basin. It does not stir dust. It does not cool the steel. Then it settles completely. Scaffolding along the hull stays untouched. Platforms remain empty. No tool shifts on the railing. The structure feels prepared, but unused. Drain channels cut through the floor. They remain dry. No echo travels through them. The surface absorbs every sound. Above, the night sky remains clear. No light sweeps across the cranes. No aircraft passes overhead. The height stays undisturbed. Time spreads evenly once more. Minutes lose their weight. Nothing urges the space toward change. The pause feels sufficient. The ship rests on its supports. The cranes rest against the sky. The basin rests in still air. Each element aligned without effort. No signal forms at the yard gate. No vehicle approaches the rim. No movement breaks the boundary. Everything remains contained. Steel, concrete, and light continue together. No brightness shifts. No structure bends. The dock feels anchored in silence. Time loses more of its edges. Moments flatten. Presence replaces progression. The night deepens within the basin. The hull remains elevated. The hooks remain suspended. The floor remains dry. Nothing alters its place. The dry dock continues beneath silent cranes. The harbor remains distant beyond the walls. The night remains wide and calm. Everything holds steady, undisturbed and balanced, as the long dark hours pass unnoticed. The dock continues to hold its open stillness. No hook lowers from the cranes. No signal flashes along the rim. The arrangement remains exact. The hull stands unchanged above the floor. Steel plates keep their faint sheen. Weld seams stay visible in straight lines. Nothing hums beneath them. Light continues to rest across the basin. It does not sweep. It does not narrow. Its glow feels measured and calm. The concrete concrete floor remains dry and firm. No mark appears. No echo returns. The surface absorbs everything. Time loosens again within the open space. Moments do not follow one another. They settle quietly beside the hole. No direction forms. A soft draft moves once along the scaffolding. It does not shift a platform. It does not rattle a rail. Then it fades without trace. The crane arms remain extended into the dark sky. Chains hang straight. Hooks stay motionless in the air. Nothing lifts. Nothing lowers. Above the dock walls, the harbor stays distant. No horn sounds. No wake reaches the basin. The separation remains intact. Time spreads evenly once more. Minutes lose their edges. Nothing presses the space toward change. The pause feels sufficient. The ship rests on its supports. The cranes rest against the sky. The lights rest along the rim, each element holding its place without demand. No gate opens at the yard entrance. No truck crosses the concrete. No new beam appears in the dark. The boundary stays firm. Steel, concrete, and air remain balanced. No vibration travels through them. No brightness shifts. The dock feels insulated from motion. Time loses more of its shape. Moments flatten. Presence replaces progression. The night settles deeper into the basin. The hull remains elevated. The floor remains dry. The cranes remain silent. Nothing alters its alignment. The dry dock continues beneath the open sky. The harbor continues beyond the walls. The night continues without change. Everything remains steady, contained, and undisturbed as the quiet hours stretch on. The basin remains open beneath the silent cranes. No chain moves against steel. No light shifts along the rim. The structure keeps its quiet balance. The hull stands supported and still. Its shadow rests evenly on the floor. No vibration rises through the blocks. The weight feels settled and complete. Floodlights continue their steady glow. They do not dim. They do not flare. Their presence feels neutral, unchanged by time. Above, the crane arms hold their shape against the sky. Hooks hang in open air. Nothing lowers. Nothing lifts. The height remains undisturbed. Time no longer feels divided. Moments settle beside one another. They do not lead anywhere. The pause feels sufficient. A faint breath of air crosses the basin once more. It does not stir dust. It does not echo. Then it disappears completely. The concrete floor remains dry and firm. Drain channels stay empty. No sound travels through them. Everything feels anchored. The dock does not anticipate water returning. It does not prepare for motion. It simply remains steady. ship rests above the basin. The cranes rest against the night. The lights rest along the rim, each element aligned and balanced, quiet and undisturbed, as the final silent stretch continues without change.